Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In Nier Reincarnation, we have the second Arena Showdown coming next week. It's a little bit early to talk about it because we don't have a lot of the concrete details, but I'm just going to assume that it's basically the same as the first Arena Showdown. And then we have Final Fantasy XIV coming out tomorrow, so I want to spend tomorrow making videos about that instead. But yes, here we'll talk about how it's kind of basically set up, and then go over what I learned from the first Showdown. In the first Showdown, I got 11, so hopefully that gives people the confidence to trust what I say. Some people, I'm sure, will say that I got 11 just because I was lucky. It's true that I was lucky, but I also worked to put myself in a position to get lucky, and other people who worked just as hard as me were unlucky and so fell down in the ranks. Pure luck is not going to randomly jump up someone from 100 to 10. The requisite work has to be there, and it may or may not pay off. Down below in the comments, I will link to a playlist with previous videos I made on the Arena Showdown. To be honest, the main reason I'm making this video is to draw attention to that playlist. All of the important information is in there. There are things like lists of team archetypes, demonstrations of meta and off-meta costumes, and my final 40 minutes of matches. I want to draw special attention to the tier list video in there. That is based on the observations of 2 top 50 ranking users on the JP side, which is much more whaley and meta than global. There are tiers, but all characters included there are good to certain degrees. C or D does not mean bad. It just means that they were not top tier and that they were not used very much on the JP side. But here, until the rest of the video, I want to outline the most important things I observed during the first Arena Showdown. Between ranks, 50 and 10, where I was occupying for the whole week. But I think this information could be useful for anyone aiming for a top 100. First of all, defense teams overall are going to be much less successful than an average arena week. A 20 to 30% win rate should be more expected. If you can somehow get to 40% or higher, that'll be a big advantage. Second of all, dropping 50 or more ranks while you sleep during the night or whenever you sleep, that should be expected as well. Playing every day and going to bed at your desired rank is probably safe. Third of all, the rush at the end will be ridiculous, and that is where putting yourself in a position to get lucky is going to pay off. I forgot when exactly the rush started in JP, but I want to say it was like 3 hours before the deadline. In Global, it was closer to 1.5, 2 hours. And there's no resting during that time. If you want to aim for like top 20-ish, you got to play all the way through that hours-long period. And fourth, and last of all, having a fast-playing attack team is important. And I'm not talking about agility or cooldown, I mean like match turnover. If you can get in more matches than other players, you will have an advantage. Therefore, tanky teams with character skills charged from start like Udil, Christmas Gale, Demas, for example, would not be a great attack team choice during the rush. Using like cooldown, 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 or cooldown, cooldown support will win or lose more quickly, and then give you more chances at more points, and therefore a better chance at a higher rank. However, you could use a tanky defense team, and even if it loses, it could eat up other players' real lifetime, and then maybe give you an edge there, maybe. If you participated in the first Arena Showdown and you ranked pretty highly, if you wanted to leave any hints or tips or observations from there, please leave them below. It's a very unique environment, so I'm curious to see what people felt or thought going through that. Alrighty, over the weekend I will be kind of tinkering with my teams, maybe going back and looking at what I like, what was successful. If there's any kind of big major changes or revelations from the news added to the game over the weekend, maybe I'll make a video about that too. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.